Hey everybody, it's Lisa with Hawkins Joyful Bees. Well, today we're going to renumber a lot of our hives. Some of them, the numbers are getting hard to read, so we're going to redo that. We number the hives so when we journal what we're doing in each hive and how each hive is doing, we write the number of that hive down. That way we know from year to year what's going on with that hive, what queen is in that hive. And during the season, we know when we've treated it, what's going on with it. Kind of helps us keep a little organized. And then we're going to do a mite check. So what a mite check means is it's like an alcohol. We're actually rubbing alcohol. It will kill several hundred bees when we do it. But what it does is we kind of wash them in this little container. And when we're done, we count how many mites that we see. A mite, it's called a varroa mite, and it will actually kill the bees. It will actually wipe out an entire hive because it's almost like a leech. It sucks the life right out of that bee, and many times it will even affect the baby bees. So especially baby bees can be deformed where their wings are not right. So we really have to keep that in check, and we just treated all of our hives for it. So now we're going to go back through and check and see how they're doing. But first we're going to do some numbering, and that way all of our systems, our journals are all correct with each one of our hives. But we're going to start off today at our house, doing our bee yard here. The bees that we have here are our nooks, or they're like little baby hives. We do not use them for production hives. And then we'll go to the hive that we have at my mom's. That one is all production hives. And then a hive at my sister Rita Lamar's house. That is production hives. And then the hives that we have at my sister Tammy Goss's house. And those are production hives. So we have total 5 bee yards. We have one in Springville, Indiana too. We won't be doing that one today. But we eventually we go from each bee yard to make sure everything is good. Because it's time for us to wrap up the 21 season for our bees. It's time to get them ready for winter. I call it putting them to bed, but they technically do not sleep. They don't hibernate. They're very much alive in that hive over the winter. So here we go. I'm going to turn the camera around so you can hear Shane now, but I just thought it would be great to kind of go over what we're going to do. And you may not see all of our bee yards today, but you will definitely see this one.
Okay, so it's pretty simple. We have these little corrugated plastic pieces that we've picked up.
Thank you, Donetta and Jay.
You can get them. You can buy them at the store if you want, or you can use when election time rolls around, people put up the signs up. You can take those, and once the election's over, you can grab these and cut them up in little squares, and you can put your little numbers on. And then I staple the numbers on each one of the hives, but a lot of these are brand new. We haven't assigned them a number yet, so we're going to work on doing that today.
Are we ready? My sister actually, her and her husband actually get us the corrugated board for us, so I'm really appreciative of that. We give them a lot of honey in return, but it comes in handy with a lot of things with our bees. Okay, so what you're seeing here is this is a part of our journal, and as you can see, Shane's marked. This is like what the hive is. These are where the hives are located, and each hive, most of the time, like if you see these all have numbers. If there's an X, that is a good indication there may have been a hive there that's not there now, or there's no hive there at all. So this is what we go by. This is one at our house.
It's my highly sophisticated system.
Which is quite
you see
funny.
The little X's and squares and lines.
Yeah, little lines.
Very sophisticated. And each one of these numbers I have in another journal, and that is where I actually do keep a written journal of each hive.
See if you can see.
So this is my map.
This is our hives at Springville. They're numbers. We only have 2. NQ for whatever new queen. This is the one at my sister Rita's house. We did have 2, but we only have 1.
No, we have 2.
We have 2. This one's not numbered. Okay. Then this is the one at my mom's. These are all the hives we have at my mom's. As you can tell, one's not marked. We have a lot at my mom's. And then this is my sister Tammy's. I'm trying to find ours. Is this ours?
Everything up there is
This
ours.
is ours.
The whole thing.
This is all of our nooks. So we have a lot of nooks, but we go into detail even on which queen, what queen came from what, because we had a queen from my
Here's
sister.
my little picnic table. It's sitting on a picnic table.
Yeah. Y'all see that? That's funny. We have a queen that came from my sister Rita's house. We called a swarm out there. It's the best queen we ever had. And we actually have kept a running for, what, 3 years, 5 years of that queen's offspring and where it's at, because that queen was such an amazing queen. And we just lost her this year. So that one was pretty heartbreaking. And then, of course, we carry this little bucket. I couldn't tell you where we got the bucket. That was the best little purchase we ever made.
It came from Sam's Club.
Sam's Club. And then here's our alcohol, just regular old alcohol. And this is what we will do the mite check in. It's a Vora easy check. And then there's our numbers,
Staple gun.
our staple gun, and even our marker. So you get an idea of kind of what we do. And we carry a lot of this stuff in our car. Many times we'll have a tote at each bee yard, and that tote has all of our tools for the bee yard. Sometimes even has extra bee suits. We've almost got to a point where we can keep extra bee suits at each yard because we buy them whenever they're on sale. Very, very well worth the purchase. The one Shane has on is actually, Shane and Michael both have this one, but it has airflow in it. As my bee suit is solid, there's no airflow, but I like heat, so heat doesn't bother me. However, it's one. I don't come out just in a jacket. But Shane's like the bee whisperer. They don't seem to, he gets stung a lot, and they don't bother him. But him and Michael, Shane gets really hot in his, so we got him one where it's air flows through it, and then his air flows through it. So it's really good, but we're almost where we can keep all of our tools in one place. But we do have tools at each beehive. We do not use the same tool on any beehive. So if one of our bee yards, not beehives. So if one of our bee yards ended up with a disease and wiped out that whole yard, if I used those hive tools on all of my yards, I would lose all of my bees. So as a security, each bee yard has their own hive tools that we keep there. So we never, and it makes it a little easier when we're traveling. Yeah, so if they have a disease, we don't have to worry about it. But let's see if I can get some pictures here, and then we'll show you what Shane's doing. Like this hive is not marked. Look at those pretty bees coming in and out. There's not a lot of pollen on them because right now there's not a lot of flowers. There is goldenrod, is that right?
Yes, and aster.
And aster. And what we've noticed is we live way out in the boonies. And goldenrod here takes about a week or 2 weeks to bloom after everybody else away from us, like just even at my mom's house or my sister's, it's less than 5 miles away. It's probably already bloomed there, but not here. So this time of year, especially with these guys, we have to do a lot of sugar water so they don't starve, and we get them basically ready for winter. Isn't that beautiful? Aren't they pretty? Love my bees. I'm just going to walk you through and let you see all of them. Here's another one. These are little nooks, so you can tell they're a little bit smaller. And when you see them stacked like that, like this one, here's a top one, and then there's the bottom one. It's because it's a bigger nook. It's a stronger nook, and we don't want to put it in a regular hive. We want to keep it as a nook. And what we do is we overwinter them. So this winter, they'll get through the winter, and then many of them we sell in the spring. So if you ever want nooks in the spring, let us know. They are great. We have great bees. I love my bees. And is this where you've treated them? That's not where you treated them, is it?
No.
Look at that.
This is a ventilation hole.
Isn't that beautiful? I was trying to find one with a hole in it that you all could see where he actually treats them. I do have a video, I think, of us treating them that I'll try to post later. Oh, here's one. I found it. Thank you, Shane. See this right here? That's actually a golf peg thing, you know, the golf peg thing. But we drill a little hole at the very bottom.
Golf tee.
Golf tee. We drill a little hole at the very bottom, and then we have a machine. Well, I call it a machine. It's not a machine. It's a vaporizer. We stick in there, and we put the treatment, and we stick it right in there and close off the whole hive. It's an organic treatment that we kill the mites off the bees, and we have to do it 3 times. We do it in the summer, and I think in the fall. So we'll be doing it, or in the spring and fall. I'll get it right in a minute. We just got done treating them, and I think we'll treat them one more time. Aren't they? Oh, that one, oh, he just went in. He had pollen on his legs. That's my favorite thing in the world to see. And then we got, y'all like Shane's feet? I got this hive. See how they're all coming in and out? The sun may actually be glaring it a little. And then that one. All right, let's do some numbering. I hope y'all are ready. Here we go. I'm where you want me at, Shane. Aren't they pretty? I was hoping y'all could see some with the pollen on them. There's very little pollen, but there is a little bit of them coming in.
Okay, so these are numbers that are not assigned. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a staple gun and this number 2, and I'm just going to pick a box and I'm going to staple it.
Some people use, is it cow tags?
Yes. Some people use cow tags, others just write on the boxes themselves. I like to where I can switch things around, so if I don't want this number here, then I can yank it off and put it somewhere else.
And it's cheaper than buying cow tags.
That way I don't have to move a full box.
Yeah. Now, we did watch one beekeeper on the top of the box here. He would wrap it in duct tape, and he would use permanent marker. And he would write down everything that season with that hive. And at each season, he would just take the duct tape off, put new duct tape on. Good idea, but we keep a running journal, so we like to know year to year.
So this hive here, I'm just going to assign it as number 2. So I just take my number and I'll just place it right below the handle, just right above the entrance. And it's done.
Here's number 2, and then we'll update our little notebook.
We'll write it in the notebook and kind of go from there. Just
cool?
real simple. It's real basic.
All right, well, I'm going to push pause. We're going to finish numbering hives and then update our little journal with what hive has what. And then we're going to do the mite check. That's the alcohol wash. So we'll be back here in a minute, guys.
Okay, we're back. And we've got all of our hives numbered. So we're just going to kind of take a little tour and show you the numbers.
So we're going to start here. We have number 2. Now this is a hive, but it's facing the other direction because we try to keep our hives face different direction. That helps them find their home. Bees are very good at direction, so they know that's their home and it's facing that way. We have number 28, and then that one's facing the other direction. And then we have number 31. Now let's walk around this way. So that one would be number 30. See the ones that, see how they're facing different directions? And then we have number 27. And then we have number 3. Number 7. That one right there is actually 21. And that one is way down there, number 11. I don't remember what this one is, but it's facing the other direction. And this one should be 14. That one's facing the other direction. And this is where we made a boo-boo. These two are both facing the same direction, and we actually need to turn one around. There's number 6, and that's an actual hive. I don't know if I can back up without falling. See the difference. So see, that's a hive. And then there's your nook. See the difference there? It's a lot wider. That one's facing the other direction, and that's number 1. Yay for number 1. was hoping y'all could see some of them bring in pollen. This is number 26. And then that one over there is number 29. And then I don't know if I can get over here without tripping. Lots of bee stuff. It'll take me just a minute. And you see my shadow? That's so funny. Here we go. This one over here is kind of hidden under a tree. And the way Shane did this one, he actually built this. He built this one, and I think it's kind of cool. So this is 33 and 34. Now, that is actually, see how they're color-coded? One's yellow, one's white. That is because it's one big hive, and he took and split the hive, so there's a divider in between, and that's how we know each side is a nook. And in the wintertime, what that does is it keeps them warmer, so they don't have, it's two separate hives, but they're keeping everything warmer because there's more bees. And the reason why it's color-coded is, again, bees have great direction. So when they're flying in, those that always go in hive number 34 can tell that's a different color than the 33. Is that not cool, y'all? Okay, so we'll walk back over to our picnic table, and I'll show you that one. So I'm sorry you're getting my feet a lot of feet. Ooh, got bright too. A lot of feet. This is old picnic table that we actually moved here just for the hive. There is number 32. That one's pretty close to my door. But I don't normally have any major issues with bees. Sometimes they like to fly in the house when I'm working, because I work from home. And when they do that, I have to kill them, which is bad. All right, here we go.
Okay,
back to the beekeeper.
So that pretty much ends this video with numbering our hives, and we're going to treat for varroa mites, and that'll be on another video.
Yep.
So we'll see you guys later. Thanks for following along with us.
Thanks, everybody. If you look at Shane's bee suit, that is the bee suit that has the airflow through it. I don't know if I can get close up, like see the little pockets there, but yet he can't get stung. So those are great. This has been a great bee suit. All right, so we'll see you guys after a while. Look for the other video on the treating the mites. That's pretty cool. Both on here, so we both tell you bye. Bye, everybody.